You are welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to look at identifying and correcting errors in skip counting by times. So we are going to identify some errors and omission in some numbers, and then we will be able to write them. But before we go, let's see what errors and omissions are when it comes to identifying them. Now, the errors here we are talking about numbers that were written, okay? So we have some numbers, and then some numbers were written, but they were written what? Wrongly. So in this skip counting and identifying errors, the errors we are talking about here, they were written in the number, but they were written wrong. Do you get it? So let's read this example. Skip counting in 5. We have 5, 10, 14, and 20. Okay, 5, 10, 14, and 20. We are skip counting forward in 5. And you know that skip counting forward, we are adding. So if we add 5, what will we get? 5 plus 5 will give me 10. 10 plus 5 will give me 15 and not 14. So this is an error. It is a mistake. It has been written, but it is written wrongly. So it is a mistake. So this is the error that we identify in this context. So instead of what? 15, 14 was rather written. So here should have been 15. So this is the error we are talking about. So it has been written, but it's wrong. Do you get it? Okay. Now let's look at the omission. The omission are numbers that were skipped. Okay, that is, they were not written at all. So the omission we are talking about here, they were not written in the numbers. They were jumped to the next number. They are the omission. So if you see any number that was written but it was written wrongly, it is an error, not an omission. The omission numbers were not written, they were not in the numbers that were given. Now let's look at the example. We have 5, 15, 20, 25. Now we skip counting forward in 5. From 5, we go towards 10. But 10 was not written here. It was jumped and went to 15. So 10 has been what? Omitted. So 10 has not been written. So 10 is the omission. Do you get it? You don't come and write 15 for me. You don't write 15 again for me as an omission. No, because here 15 was written as 14. So it is an error. The omission numbers were not written in the numbers. They are the omission. Okay, so let's look at this example and work it out. We have what? Numbers like 20, 25, 30, 40, 46, 50, 55. Now to be able to identify the errors and omission, we have to write the skip count again. Okay, so we write correct skip count. So we are coming to start. 20. Remember, we are skip counting in 5, so we always add 5. So we have what? 25 plus 5. We have 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and 55. It ended at 55, so we end there. So now let's look at the error. What is the error here? We'll compare the numbers and see which one was written wrongly. Okay, we'll look at them and look at the numbers that were written. So we have 20, we have 25, 30, 35. Then we have 40 here, and then we have 45. So here it was written as 46. Okay, 45 here was written as 46. So this is the error. Okay, so we have what? 46 was written instead of 45. So this is the error. Do you get it? It has been written, but instead of 45, they wrote 46. So this is the error. Now let's look at the omission. Let's look at the omission. So which number has been omitted? Let's compare. We have 20, we have 25, we have 30, We have 35 here, but we don't have 35 here. But we have 40 here. So it means 35 has been what? Skipped. So 35 is the omission. But you have to move on and see if there is more. Then 46, we already know it is an error. We have 50 and what? 55. Okay. Let's look at the next number. So this is how you do it. You compare the numbers to get the errors and the omission. Let's look at the next one. We have 10, 15, 20. So we move on to write the correct skip count. So in correct skip count, we have 10, 15, 20, 25. We are skip counting in fives. 30, 35, 40, and 45. So this is where we end. Now let's see the error. Let's look at the error here. So we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So here 30, from 30 we move on to what? 35. So it means 31 here is an error because it's supposed to be 30, but it was written as 31. So you write 31 was written instead of 30. So instead of 30, they wrote 31. So 31 was written instead of what? 30. Now let's look at the omission. Which number was skipped or which number was left out? Now let's compare. We have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We have 40 here. And then we have 45. So we have 40 here, but we don't have 40 here. So it means 40 was skipped to 45. So the omission is what? 40. Okay. So to be able to get your errors and omission, you should be able to write the correct skip count. Write the skip count correctly. And then it will help you to identify the errors and the omissions in the numbers that you were given. And remember, the errors are the ones that have been written, but they are wrong. Those are the errors. And the omissions are the numbers that has been jumped to the next number. They were not written. They were supposed to be written, but they've been jumped to the next number. I'm going to give you an exercise. You do it nicely and send it to me on my WhatsApp. Bye. Enjoy the lesson. Bye.